next exercise we're going to do is passing knots on a simple rope drop. These knots are in the rope for, could be several different reasons: isolating damaged sections of rope, tying two ropes together. Either way, we're going to have to pass these knots without getting off of this rope system. So the first thing we want to do is make sure we climb in our descender. The backup safety line on first. It's practical. Descender on the rope. Make sure it's good and snug. And then your foot loop. Go ahead and climb until you get all the way to the knot. Alternating your backup safety device and your working line. Make sure we stay out of that fall factor of 1 or 2. Once you get to your knots right here, remember this is a full point of contact in your descender, and so is your backup device. So go ahead and move your backup device close to your knot. Take your hand descender, move it above, and go ahead and step up and cinch your descender all the way to your knot. Now, this backup safety device needs to be moved above the knot, but we don't want to go on 1 point of contact, so we're going to use our extra backup. Go ahead and place it above. Make sure this device is not right on the knot, because it needs a section of rope to slip and grab. You don't want it right here. Make sure that cow's tail is free, and you can go ahead and remove the bottom safety device. Put it to your side, get it out the way. Rope management is key. Now, this is the only time where we'll have you open your crawl like this. That way it's open when you try to put it on these ropes, because you don't want these teeth exposed. Go ahead and slide this up. You're going to have to stand. When you stand, go ahead and put it in your crawl and sit back down. Immediately move your backup safety device up. Go ahead and remove your descender. And you successfully passed the knots. They're underneath your crawl, your hand descender, and it's underneath your backup device. And you just continue to climb. Now let's just say I've reached my desired height and I want to come back down. To eliminate an extra changeover, we ascended in our descender. Now we're going to descend in our ascend. You do not want to pull on this lever, because if you step up and pop it out, you will be on 1 point of contact with your safety device, and that is a failure. So, this flat metal on the top, you're going to press it down with your finger as soon as you relieve pressure from the device. So you're going to stand up, relieve pressure, and slide. It's catching the teeth, so I'm going to go ahead and move my rope over to my left side. That way it feeds on this back side instead of on the teeth. Step up. Look how much smoother it runs now. Sit down. Once I sit down, I'm just going to lower all my devices and slide them down with me. Go ahead and do the same thing. Now, I've reached the knot. Bring down my 2 devices. So what we can do now is make sure everything's untangled. This rope's free now. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my descender. Now we're passing the knots heading down. The descender goes on the ropes, exactly how it lays. Close the locking plate and tighten it up until you get it to that knot. That way when you step out of this crawl, you don't have a lot of distance to go. Bring this down about a few inches above the mat. When you stand up, top out of your crawl. Sit back down. Now I'm in my descender underneath the knot. At this point, you can remove your hand ascender, put it to your side, making sure you don't tangle any of the ropes, and put your extra backup, which would be your primary again, from your sternum on your safety line. Nothing's tangled up. Go ahead and remove the one above. And now you've completed the portion of the obstacle. Now you just have to descend, alternating your backup and working line in a controlled manner until you reach the ground.